If murder is following you around, don't you have to think, is it me? Am I bringing this on?
Seen it once, don't remember when. Think it's time to watch it again. Follow, subscribe, stay up to date. Episodes drop the last Friday. It's a Matt, forgot that. It's a Matt, forgot that. It's a Matt, forgot that podcast.
Welcome to the Matt Forgot That podcast, the place to recollect and reminisce. I'm your host, Matt Seroski, filmmaker, film fan. Each episode, I'm going to rewatch and review a movie or TV pilot that I've seen before but don't quite remember. It could be a blockbuster, critic's choice, or cult classic. To join in on the conversation, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Matt Seroski. You can subscribe to my YouTube page where I'll post videos and clips from the show. If you have any opinions on what I've reviewed, or want to share your own trip down memory lane, use the hashtag MattForgotThat on social. Before we start, since this is a new episode of a new season in a new year, I'm going to look at some of the 2026 movie releases and give you my thoughts on them. I tried to divide them into some kind of logical category, but I got bored about halfway in, so we'll see if this pans out. Now, I've already seen a 2026 movie, and that was The Rip on Netflix, starring Matt Damon, Ben Affleck. I'm not sure how a B-action movie got greenlit in 2026, but bravo! I enjoyed this movie. It's one of those, you don't really know who's on whose side, but it was very effective. On to movies I haven't seen yet. I'm really looking forward to Disclosure Day. That's the new Steven Spielberg film where no one knows what the plot's exactly about, but there's supposed to be some sci-fi elements and maybe a UFO. But it stars Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Wyatt Russell, so it's got a solid cast. Another movie with an impressive cast is The Sheep Detectives. I have no idea what it's about, but it's got Hugh Jackman, Emma Thompson. What could go wrong? After that, it's a whole lot of sequels, reboots, reimaginings, so let's run through this like the Micro Machines man. On the sequel front, we have 28 Years Later, starring Ralph Fiennes. Then we have Scream 7, with Neve Campbell returning, as well as Courtney Cox. Now, I feel like they lost count. I swear there was a Scream 7 about 3 movies ago. But like at some point, if murder is following you around, don't you have to think, is it me? Am I bringing this on? Sidney Prescott has the worst luck. Then you have its parody, Scary Movie 6. The Wayans brothers return for more absurd pop culture and horror movie references. The Devil Wears Prada 2, because the first one left so many questions open. Every one of your favorites are returning. Anne Hathaway, Meryl Streep, Emily Blunt, Stanley Tucci, and Kenneth Branagh has been added to the cast. Then you have Mortal Kombat 2. The first one was a popcorn flick. I expect the same with this. And because we haven't milked the Star Wars universe enough, there's The Mandalorian and Grogu. Then we have the trifecta of animated sequels, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, Toy Story 5, and Minions 3 Mega Minions. That's probably my favorite subtitle of a movie. More sequels on the way, Evil Dead Burn. It's going to be a standalone entry in the franchise. Not sure what that means. Then we have Spider-Man Brand New Day. There's a lot of secrecy about the plot of this movie, so let's see what happens. I enjoyed the Home trilogy, and Spider-Man has been a fun franchise, so I'm looking forward to this one. Paw Patrol is getting a sequel, yes, the Dino movie, for all of you looking forward to that. Godzilla Minus Zero, a sequel to the 2023 hit, is coming to theaters. I'm not sure they've missed with these new Godzilla movies, so I expect it to do a lot of big business. Then you have The Hunger Games, Sunrise on the Reaping, Jumanji 3, Avengers Doomsday, and Dune Messiah. They haven't found those spices yet. Why are they still making Dune movies? That is why David Lynch was brilliant. One movie, 2 hours, you're done. And last, I'm not sure where to put this movie because I guess it's an original, but it's also part of a larger universe, so Supergirl. Let's jump into some reboots and reimaginings. We have The Bride, which is a remake of The Bride of Frankenstein. directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. I do have high hopes for this one. I'm always up for a good reimagining, with good being the operative word. Then you have Lee Cronin's The Mummy, another Universal Pictures monster. Then we have the one that I'm looking forward to most, Masters of the Universe. The trailer just dropped a couple of days ago, and I thought it was decent. Now, I knew going into it that this was going to be one of those visual effects smorgasbords, right? But they got some money in this one. The only thing that put me off from the trailer is that his journey starts on Earth. It very much feels like Superman. I'd rather have the whole movie take place on Eternia and the universe, as they are the masters of it. But I also know that people were put off by the fact that there was a pronoun joke. Yeah, He-Man has gone all woke. His name's He-Man. He-Man. He, as in the pronoun he. And last in the reboot and reimagining section is Moana. Didn't this just come out? Didn't this make like $3 billion 2 years ago? Why are we doing a live-action movie? Oh, it's because it made $3 billion 2 years ago. Okay, never mind. We do have an original animated movie from Pixar called Hoppers. Now, the studio that can do no wrong has been a little hit. I'm not going to say or miss, because I don't think any of their movies really miss, outside of maybe The Good Dinosaur. That was a little bit of a bore. But I hope they come back to form with this movie. This next section is called Thank You Hollywood for continuing to remake books that no one wants to read into movies, with Wuthering Heights, starring Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi, and The Odyssey, with Matt Damon, Zendaya, Tom Holland, Anne Hathaway, Mia Goth, Charlize Theron, John Bernthal, Robert Pattinson, and A Partridge in a Pear Tree. And finally, the last section, Things That I Didn't Know Were a Thing. Greenland 2, Migration. Apparently, there was a Greenland 1. I had no idea, and I highly doubt the public did either. But here we are, we have a sequel. I'm not sure of the plot of the movie, but since the subtitle is Migration, I assume it's about Greenlanders trying to flee the country after the United States takes it over. I could be wrong. But what movies are you looking forward to most in 2026? Hit me up on social media using the hashtag #MattForgotThat. On to the main attraction. Each review will end with a ranking out of 5 stars. 1 star is skip it, 2 stars watch at your own risk, 3 stars standard fare, 4 stars worth checking out, and 5 stars must see. Now, if I give a title 5 stars, it doesn't mean I'm comparing it to Casablanca, Jaws, or Seinfeld. I rank titles based on other movies or TV series in that genre and at that time period. In this episode of the podcast, I'm rewatching and reviewing Fargo from 1996. It was written and directed by Joel and Ethan Coen. The Coen brothers have built one of the most distinctive and influential careers in modern cinema, known for their masterful blend of genres, dark humor, and offbeat storytelling. Emerging on the indie scene with their debut, Blood Simple, they quickly earned a reputation for crafting films that subvert conventions, from neo-noir thrillers like Miller's Crossing to their genre-defying Oscar-winning hit Fargo. Their works, such as The Big Lebowski, No Country for Old Men, and True Grit, exhibit a remarkable versatility, shifting from screwball comedies to gritty westerns and psychological dramas. Their unique style is defined by sharp dialogue, quirky characters, and a keen sense of the absurdities of life, often exploring themes of fate, morality, and the human condition. The Coens have garnered critical acclaim, numerous awards, and a loyal cult following, cementing their place as two of the most innovative and unpredictable filmmakers of their generation. It stars Frances McDormand as Marge Gunderson. Her career is a remarkable journey of bold, transformative performances and a fierce commitment to portraying complex, often unconventional characters. After making her mark with the Coen brothers in Blood Simple, McDormand became a defining presence in their films, with standout roles in Fargo, which earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress, and The Man Who Wasn't There. Her career is distinguished by an ability to blend vulnerability, strength, and humor, making her a versatile force in both independent and mainstream cinema. McDormand's work in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri won her a second Oscar, while her most recent work in No Man's Land brought her critical acclaim and a 3rd Academy Award. Beyond her work in front of the camera, McDormand has been a vocal advocate for diversity and inclusion in the industry, and her commitment to telling authentic, human stories continues to shape her career. From quirky indie dramas to powerful, award-winning performances, McDormand's career remains a testament to the power of authenticity, complexity, and resilience in storytelling. And William H. Macy, as Jerry Lundegaard. Known for his ability to embody complex, often flawed characters with deep humanity, Macy's career is marked by critical acclaim and a variety of iconic roles. He first gained widespread recognition in Fargo, a role that earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. Macy's knack for blending humor with pathos made him a natural fit for a wide range of roles, from his breakthrough in Boogie Nights to his memorable turn in Magnolia. On television, he became a household name with his role as the chaotic yet endearing Frank Gallagher in the long-running series Shameless, earning multiple award nominations for his portrayal of the dysfunctional patriarch. Macy has also excelled in supporting roles in films like Jurassic Park 3, Seabiscuit, and The Cooler. Throughout his career, he's become known for his ability to bring depth and nuance to characters on both sides of the moral spectrum, whether playing a hapless criminal or a loving but deeply flawed father. Macy's career is a masterclass in character acting, consistently delivering performances that are equal parts grounded and complex, leaving a lasting impact across both film and television. So let's jump into it. This is what I remember. The wood chipper scene, of course, perhaps the most infamous moment in Fargo. The scene is stark, absurd, and horrifying, yet also darkly comedic. It encapsulates the film's bizarre blend of violence and the mundane. Then you have the opening scene with Jerry and the kidnapping plot. It's a tense conversation between Jerry and 2 criminals about the plan to kidnap his wife and extort a ransom from her wealthy father. And last, Marge Gunderson's investigation. When she's interrogating Jerry at the scene of the crime, she's pregnant, polite, and remarkably composed as she digs into Jerry's lies, showing her sharp investigative skills. Now I'm heading off to rewatch the movie. This is what I forgot. Fargo is a darkly comedic crime thriller set in the snow-covered landscapes of Minnesota. The story revolves around Jerry Lundegaard, a financially struggling car salesman who hatches a plan to have his wife kidnapped in order to extort ransom money from her wealthy father. Jerry enlists 2 criminals to carry out the crime, but things quickly spiral out of control. The kidnapping plan goes awry when the criminals kill several people, including a state trooper, and leave a trail of violence in their wake. As the investigation unfolds, Marge Gunderson, the pregnant, sharp-witted police chief of Brainerd, Minnesota, is called to solve the case. Despite her calm and methodical nature, Marge proves to be a formidable detective, piecing together the increasingly tangled web of crimes. Here's a quote without context. "No. That's the first thing you've said in the last 4 hours. That's a fountain of conversation there, buddy. That's a geyser." Fargo is a masterful blend of dark comedy, crime thriller, and existential drama. The film's exploration of morality, fate, and the banality of evil is set against the stark, desolate backdrop of Minnesota's wintry landscape, creating an environment that is both uniquely unsettling and darkly humorous. Fargo is the quintessential Coen brothers film. Their trademark blend of absurdity and violence, quirky characters, and dark humor is on full display here. The Coens use irony and absurdity to expose the chaos of human nature, where even mundane, everyday life can suddenly be disrupted by unpredictable and often tragic events. One of the most striking elements of Fargo is the character of Marge Gunderson. She is the film's moral center. Marge is grounded, intelligent, and emotionally perceptive, contrasting sharply with the selfishness and incompetence of the criminals and Jerry. Marge is the opposite of the film's more chaotic characters. She approaches her work with methodical patience, and her calm demeanor provides a sense of stability amongst the unfolding carnage. The Coens use the physical setting to heighten the film's tension. The oppressive cold and isolation are frequently mirrored in the characters' emotional stakes. Even the criminals in their futile violence seem trapped in the harsh environment, unable to escape the inevitable consequences of their actions. Violence in Fargo is presented as a surreal and absurd event, rather than an overtly dramatic or sensational one. But Fargo is not just a crime story. It is a commentary on the unpredictability of life, the randomness of fate, and the consequences of individual choices. It's a film that challenges its audience to consider the line between good and evil, to question the nature of morality in a world governed by chance, and to find humor in the most unlikely of places. The film's legacy endures because it manages to entertain, provoke, and unsettle in equal measure, offering a rare combination of wit, profundity, and violence. Now for a little trivial trivia. Near the end of the movie, when the snowplow drives past the motel, this was not a scripted moment. A state employee ignored the closed set signs and literally plowed right through. Fargo was produced by Gramercy Pictures and Working Title Films. It was filmed in Fargo, North Dakota, and Embers Restaurant, Hitching Post Motel, Chanhassen Dinner Theater, and Edina City Hall in Minnesota. The cinematography was captured by Roger Deakins, whose filmography includes period drama The Shawshank Redemption, adventure epic Oh Brother Where Art Thou, spy thriller Skyfall, and crime drama Sicario. He won 2 Academy Awards for Best Achievement in Cinematography of Blade Runner 2049 and 1917. It was edited by Roderick James, which is a pseudonym for the Coen brothers. The score was composed by Carter Burwell, who wrote the music for slapstick caper Raising Arizona, horror comedy Buffy the Vampire Slayer, crime comedy The Big Lebowski, and psychological drama Adaptation. He's been nominated for Best Achievement in Music Written for Motion Pictures, Original Score of Carol, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, and The Banshees of Inisherin. The runtime is 1 hour 38 minutes. It had a budget of $7 million and grossed $60 million at the box office. It was nominated for 7 Oscars at the 1997 Academy Awards, winning 2 for Best Actress in a Leading Role and Best Writing, Screenplay written directly for the screen. In 2014, an anthology crime drama inspired by the Coen brothers' Fargo debuted. Created by Noah Hawley, the series keeps the film's darkly comedic tone and themes of ordinary people caught in extraordinary criminal situations. But each season tells a new story with different characters and a distinct timeline. On the Ski Index, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. If you've seen Fargo and have opinions on the movie, let me know what you think using the hashtag #MattForgotThat. Moving right along, each episode, I'm going to post throwback clips that I think people should watch. It could be movie trailers, music videos, interviews, or something completely random. Search for my YouTube page and there'll be a playlist called Matt Forgot That Playback. The Human League, a pioneering electronic band from Sheffield, England, rose to prominence in the 80s, carving out a legacy that blends innovative synth pop with chart-topping hits. Formed in 1997 by Phil Oakey, Martin Ware, and Ian Marsh, the band drew inspiration from the burgeoning post-punk scene, as well as the electronic music coming out of Germany and the UK. The band's early lineup was unstable, and after 2 albums, Reproduction and Travelogue, Ware and Marsh left the band to form Heaven 17. With the addition of vocalists Suzanne Ann Sully and Joanne Catherall, the Human League sound took a more pop-oriented turn. The band's first album with the new lineup, Dare, became their breakthrough moment. It was a commercial success, reaching number 1 on the UK album charts, and spawned several hit singles, including the iconic Don't You Want Me. The track became a global smash, reaching number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100, making it one of the first electronic pop songs to achieve widespread recognition. Other singles like Love Action, I Believe in Love, and The Sound of the Crowd continued the band's success, cementing their place as pioneers of the synth pop genre. Their albums Hysteria and Crash produced more radio-friendly hits, but neither matched the meteoric success of their predecessor. The song Human became their biggest post-Dare single. Despite the rapid decline of mainstream interest in synth pop by the early 90s, the band remained relevant, releasing albums such as Romantic and Octopus, which featured the hit single Tell Me When. The band adapted their style to fit the times, incorporating more danceable beats and house influences into their sound. Throughout the 2000s, the Human League continued to tour and release new material, including Secrets and Credo, though they were now more of a legacy act, still beloved for their classic tracks, but not necessarily at the forefront of new musical trends. The Human League's journey from experimental post-punk to global synth-pop icons is a story of innovation, reinvention, and resilience. With a career that spans over 4 decades, the band's legacy is not only one of chart-topping hits, but also of cultural influence. From Don't You Want Me to their recent works, the Human League's place in music history is undeniable. Their bold fusion of technology, style, and sound remains an enduring influence on modern pop and electronic music. So I've selected a couple of clips of their biggest hits. They're all available in the Matt Forgot That playback playlist on YouTube. Check it out. Now it's time for the recommendation. Yes, that's the word recommendation with Matt in the middle. I'm going to end each podcast with my own recommendation of a movie or TV series. Today I'm talking about When Harry Met Sally. The romantic comedy explores whether men and women can truly be friends without romantic involvement. The story follows 2 college graduates, Harry Burns and Sally Albright, who first meet during a car ride from Chicago to New York in the late 70s. Harry is cynical and believes that men and women can't be friends because sex always gets in the way, while Sally is idealistic and disagrees with him. Over the next decade, the 2 cross paths at various points in their lives, initially remaining just acquaintances, but gradually developing a deeper friendship. As they navigate their own romantic relationships and personal struggles, Harry and Sally's bond grows, with moments of tension and humor, particularly around their differing views on love and relationships. As the years pass, both Harry and Sally face personal growth, and their feelings for each other begin to evolve. After enduring a series of bad relationships and realizing their undeniable connection, they finally acknowledge that they're in love. When Harry Met Sally, directed by Rob Reiner and written by Nora Ephron, stars Billy Crystal, Meg Ryan, Carrie Fisher, and Bruno Kirby. It's a sharp, character-driven romantic comedy that examines love as something shaped by time, vulnerability, and emotional honesty, rather than grand gestures. Through witty dialogue and evolving relationship dynamics, the film argues that true romance emerges not from idealism or cynicism alone, but from friendship, self-awareness, and shared experience. It is my absolute favorite romantic comedy, and if you look at that 10-year stretch of Rob Reiner's from 1984 to 1994, you have the best mockumentary ever, with This Is Spinal Tap, the best coming-of-age drama in Stand By Me, the best fantasy swashbuckling family comedy in The Princess Bride, the best romantic comedy with When Harry Met Sally, the best psychological horror in Misery, the best legal drama with A Few Good Men, and The American President, which is worth a mention. So thank you to Rob Reiner for his incredible work. So if you're looking for something romantic this Valentine's Day, pop in a copy of When Harry Met Sally. That's all for this edition of Matt Forgot That. Thanks for listening to me reminisce. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Matt Seroski. You can subscribe to my YouTube page where I'll post videos and clips from the show. If you have any opinions on what I've reviewed, or want to share your own trip down memory lane, use the hashtag MattForgotThat on social. Head over to mattseroski.com for all the latest news and updates, and come back next time for the rewatch and review. From let's try that again. Known for his ability to embody complex, often floored characters. With the addition of vocalist Suzanne and how can you do that to a kid? Suzanne and Sully. The oppressive cold and isolation are frequently